This is Beard Laws News. I'm Brandon McDermott. Indonesian authorities destroyed hundreds of sex toys on Friday as demand for the prohibited devices has spiked during the coronavirus pandemic. Sex toys are illegal in the conservative country. Officials say they corrupt public morals and routinely intercept shipments, torching them as though they were illicit drugs. A customs official who led the operation says the pandemic had led to a surge in online sales of sex toys. At a press conference, he displayed a range of seized sex toys, including a masturbation sleeve and a girthy purple sex toy. Officials said at the burning of the toys that users may experience a burning sensation. Amusement and pleasant surprises and the laughter they can trigger, they add texture to the fabric of daily life. Those giggles can actually seem like they're silly, but laughter as a response to funny events actually takes a lot of work because it activates many parts of the brain. Areas that control motor, emotion, cognitive, and social processing. Laughter, doing it or observing it, activates multiple regions of the brain. The motor cortex, which controls muscles, the frontal lobe, which helps you understand context, and the limbic system, which modulates positive emotions. Turning all these circuits on strengthens neural connections and helps a healthy brain coordinate its activity. It's why I point and laugh at everyone when I'm in public. I'm basically a doctor. But you know, if laughter were really the best medicine, it would require a prescription and a huge copay.
Ooh, yes, it would. Unless you're in Canada.
A 59-year-old man in Russia lived with a serious breathing difficulty for over half a century because of a coin that was shoved up his nose as a child. It seems he forgot about the coin over the years. Doctors in Russia recently reported the strange case of a patient who said he had been completely unable to breathe through the right nostril for several months. An CT scan showed that the right nostril passage was completely blocked by a foreign body of stony density. It was only after seeing the CT scan that the mysterious round object that the man recalled playing with was a small coin as a child, had it shoved up in his nose. That when he was about 6 years old. Because his mother was very strict, he was too afraid to tell her that the coin had gotten stuck in his right nostril, so he just left it there. And as time went by, he forgot all about it. Doctors were skeptical about the story at first, but after removing the coin during an endoscopic operation, which lasted an hour and a half, and examining it, they said it just made sense. And that coin's probably worth something. You know, is there a collector's market for Soviet currency covered in decades-old crusted snot? One thing to note, we were unable to confirm whether the coin came out heads or tails. And a new portion of Beard Laws News, a closeout for the newscast with quick headlines. Here we go. Ooh. The TSA says it screened 1.18 million airline passengers during Thanksgiving weekend, and they even did some of them successfully. The Pope adds new Cardinals to the roster, and he vows to win the World Series in 2021. Last week, the 57th anniversary of the JFK burial at Arlington National Cemetery, 3 days after his assassination. Attempts to bury him before his assassination were met with loud protests. For Beard Laws News, I'm Brandon McDermott.
Nice. Well done. Well done. Well done as always. And Brandon, you want to show off some of your quick merchandise real quick? He's got some new merch, and he's a new dad. So the best way to support when he's not sleeping, look at that thing, the voicemail guy.
It's the voicemail guy mask. You can't quite see because the light's just a little bit weird, but it's animated, stretchy mask. They're pretty good, decent. 2 for $7.
Is it weird? I want you on my face.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said, is it weird for me to think that I might want you on my face?
We had a buddy who bought a shirt of mine, and if you look at it, there's my face, and he's like, Brandon, I had my wife wear your shirt, and I don't know if I like your face on my wife's breast.
Be like, it's not about you.
So again, where can they find it?
You can find it at brandonjmcdermott.com. You can also check me out on Twitter, and we can talk on Twitter. TikTok. You can also find me on Twitter as well at Brandon McDermott. But Brandon J. McDermott on TikTok is where you can find me.
Hey, did you see that?
I did. Thank you, Tobias, Toby. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support for getting the book. And man, I'm just looking forward to it. And looking forward to the skit tonight, by the way, too.
Yeah, which segues? What we're not. Yeah, you read the book. This isn't the. We'll talk about it.
Brandon, I haven't seen you in a while. Congratulations on the baby. Oh. I read the book. Awesome.
Thank you, dude. Appreciate it.
No lie.
Thanks for the support, man.
The last book I read was Tucker Max, like his second one, right? So like that's years ago, right? So I read this book, and for everyone listen, I don't read. I can read. I can read at a very high level. I choose not to. I like sports and beer. So I read this book with the idea that I'd read it to support, and just, I was like, it could be an interesting story. I couldn't put this thing fucking down. I did it, and it took me a couple weeks, only because of time and life. But as far as full sittings, it took me like 3 full sittings, and I think I buzzed one chapter here and there. Again, it was awesome. Your story is crazy. The book is well written from the standpoint that it's you telling a story. This is not, for anyone listening, this is not a novel. It's not a documentary. It's someone telling a story, a very real story, and a very crazy, forgive me for saying, fucked up, sad story.
Yeah.
But
no, I appreciate the support.
But by the end of it, it's not a fucked up, sad story, because there's a lesson learned in there, and there's this gentleman sitting in front of you is the lesson learned.
So you can get it on Amazon. It's called Abandoned Brandon by Brandon J. McDermott. And what is it right now? $9.99?
It's $12.99. $12.99. The digital copy is only $4.99, and you don't need a Kindle to read it. You just need a Kindle app, which is free. So, but Logan, Thank you so much, man. I mean, I appreciate the support and the kind words. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time, but thank you. It means from the bottom of my heart, it means the world. So thank you.
Well, if anything, I would finish it with thank you for sharing your story, because as unique as it is, I mean, you kind of hint at it throughout the whole thing. You're not the only one.
Thank you. And you're right. That's something I learned by writing this. I wrote it real quick. I wrote it to heal myself, and by the end of it, I was healed. And I realized after releasing it, that it's helping other people, because I'm not alone. There are lots of folks who've dealt with similar stuff in different ways, and a lot of people are just dealing as adults with their own trauma. And there's nothing wrong with accepting yourself as who you are and building from the ashes. That's the most important part.
No doubt, man. It was awesome. Thank you.
So there's a lot of people here